And welcome back to Tabletop Goodness. With the Sydney RQ just passed and Utrecht RQ coming up, I think we need to talk about Riftbound and what's causing heated discussions in the community. Well, there are three main topics right now: the merch store and delivery times, the metal or plated cards controversy, and the current makeup of boosters. As you can see, I do finally hold a display for Unleashed in my hands, but boy, this has taken its sweet time to arrive. Let's rewind and see how ordering product works right now on Riot's website. Well, in order to combat scalpers, there is a raffle system in place now. Basically, you enter a raffle to buy a specific product, and once the round closes, you'll get notified whether you've been drawn. If so, you get to buy the product you signed up for one time and only that product. Now, I don't know how many of you made it into the raffle when Spirit Forged was on, but I didn't. This time round, I did make it, and I maybe naively assumed that I might get the product, this display here, around the release date, which was the 8th of May. As all kinds of platforms will tell you, this was not the case. I received this one over 2 weeks later and have seen many more messages of people still awaiting theirs. Now, I understand that Riot intends to combat scalpers and bots with the introduction of the raffle system, and I guess whether this works or not is maybe worth a whole other video, but having that much of a time delay between release and delivery again only hurts an already volatile marketplace. It makes it harder for the players, that's all of us, to enjoy the product, difficult for creators like me to talk about the physical product, but at the same time again easy for scalpers trying to cash in on product received through different channels. And, would there be enough product available through FLGSs? This might be a non-issue, cause you could just get some product on release day there, but sadly this is not the case. In my region, FLGSs strictly limit the amount of boosters you are allowed to buy to a handful due to shortages. I've mentioned this issue to Riot as well, as did many of you, and I would really like to see a change here. If the merch store would actually ship out just before or marginally after release day, I would already be happy. And since this is a massive company we're talking about, and it's relatively easy to, pre-pack most orders due to the nature of the raffle, this should be highly achievable. Okay, next up. Plated or metal cards? Well, I'm pretty sure that you've seen posts like that in one form or another recently. They all talk about how it seems nigh impossible to get some of the highly sought after metal cards at Riftbound's RQs and how some people try to, farm for them. So how would one get one? Amongst other things, you will need to participate in so-called side quests, side events at RQs in order to get tickets. These tickets can then be redeemed at the prize wall. Well, no magic there, but now the problem is actually not the cards themselves. Although, one could argue that the problem is that those are old art cards and thus maybe this makes them more desirable. The problem is more to which lengths people go to acquire them and eventually then sell those cards for profit. First of all, I find metal cards not handy at all, and I also wondered why the recent Kickstarter for Cyberpunk, for example, had so many of them in its campaign, but to each their own. Seeing that I will be in Utrecht as a creator, I wanted to know more about what's actually going on with those cards though. Just a few days ago, a post on Reddit showed up, and I think it really shows the dedication that people have to get those cards, which I 100% respect. That said, I find it sad that many of those cards end up on marketplaces, making them unobtainable for some players that genuinely try hard and their best during the RQs. Because the problem is this: once they are out of a specific card at the price wall, it's not available anymore, and what makes this even more difficult is that UVS stated that after Hardford, there will be no more Origins metal cards. So all in all, the scarcity and high desirability due to them being old arts is being discussed in many communities right now. But what can be done about it? Well, tickets are already not allowed to be sold, but there seems to be an active secondary market at every RQ. Some people seem to have signed up for events and then not showed up. There are talks about tying them to an ID, increasing stock, and also actually maybe printing the name or tag of the person that received it onto the card. I'm really curious to see how this develops, but it would be nice if you're in for a certain card that you have a realistic chance of getting it. Well, let's see, Utrecht. I'll see what I can report then. Okay, now let's open some boosters while I talk about the last point. There's actually been quite some discussion about the amount of legends and battlefields in these boosters. Well, I'll do a random sample of say 6 boosters and we'll have a running counter up to see where we end up at. Okay, let's see what we can actually pull. We have here this one, Ravna the Lawkeeper, Frisky Hunter, Walking Roost, Black Rose Dignitary, Hunter's Machete, Star-Crossed, Blast Cone, Divining Shells, Skyward Strike. We have Undying Legion. Oh, we have a champion unit, a Galio, and a Chaos Rune. Okay. Shade Stalker. Oh, there we go. Battlefield. Battlefield. Legend. Oh, a Battlefield. Battlefield. Oh, a Battlefield. It's really quite a lot. Okay, so here we are. I guess that one could say that this is representative of what people are saying online. And look, this might be a video highlighting a lot of issues with Riftbound, but it's thankfully all things that can be addressed or are already in the process of being addressed. Riot is a multi-million-dollar company, and compared to other companies, they really seem to listen to persistent feedback of the communities. Dave Gaskin, for example, game and design director at Riftbound, already stated, "Hey Riftbounders, we've seen and heard your frustrations raid too many legends in packs and to a lesser extent battlefields. Hang in there, we've got some changes coming in a future set, and we'll share that plan with you within the next few months. Thanks for your patience." And at Sydney, for example, there already was a card-punching approach that showed whether you received a metal card or not, but there are still ways to give someone tickets so that they can walk up to the prize wall and get a card. Again, curious to see what they will implement at Utrecht RQ. With respect to the shipping times, I have actually not read anything official yet, so here's my official feedback. Come on, Riot, I know you can do better than taking a few weeks to ship out your own product. And with that, see you again soon on Tabletop Goodness.